Disclaimer: this video is based on open-source reports and may include unverified claims. Subject to change as more information becomes available. The world didn't hear the ink dry. In the shadow of global headlines and diplomatic distractions, a secret deal was sealed that could shift the balance of power in West Africa. Buried deep within Kremlin corridors and under the blinding lights of Moscow chandeliers, Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso signed an agreement that could redefine the country's role in regional geopolitics. Few knew, fewer understood, but the consequences may be seismic. Why would a transitional leader in a landlocked, resource-rich African nation suddenly trade tons of gold for Russian? More importantly, why now? This is the inside story of the Moscow Pact, a clandestine defense treaty exchanged not for oil or ideology, but for drones, radars, and hardline deterrence against insurgency. This is not just diplomacy. It's survival, strategy, and secrecy interwoven. Ibrahim Traoré rose to power amid chaos, following the wave of coups that rocked Burkina Faso. With a military background and populist tone, he quickly positioned himself as a savior from both foreign interference and jihadi insurgencies plaguing the north. But what remained hidden was how far he'd go to ensure stability, or at least, consolidate control. With traditional Western allies growing wary of military juntas and tightening aid, Traoré needed new partners. France's influence was waning, the US was hesitant, China remained distant. That's when Russia came knocking, with a briefcase in one hand and a counter-drone system in the other. According to intelligence leaks and unnamed diplomatic insiders, talks began in early 2024 during back-channel meetings facilitated by Wagner intermediaries. Traoré's government allegedly proposed an unprecedented exchange, 15 metric tons of gold bullion for a full-spectrum anti-drone defense package, including radar jammers, portable missile launchers, and Russian personnel training. Moscow was intrigued. Burkina Faso offered not just gold, but strategic access to the Sahel, a region rife with untapped mineral wealth and growing geopolitical importance. For Russia, still grappling with sanctions and isolation from the West, this was more than an arms deal. It was a foothold, a message, and a golden opportunity. The defense treaty, reportedly signed under a non-disclosure clause in February 2025, includes a multi-phase transfer of equipment, along with embedded Russian advisors stationed discreetly near Ouagadougou. Satellite surveillance and anti-drone capabilities are part of the package, perfectly suited to counter the asymmetric tactics of the Islamic State in the Greater Sahara, ISGS, and Al-Qaeda factions. In exchange, the Kremlin received staggered deliveries of gold through a network of intermediaries, shielded by sovereign immunity and plausible deniability. The gold, believed to be sourced from both state reserves and artisanal mines, is routed through offshore hubs before resurfacing in the Eurasian market. The Moscow Pact is more than a defense deal, it's a signal flare over Africa's future. As old alliances crumble and new ones emerge, leaders like Traoré are redrawing the geopolitical map with gold-tipped pens. What began as a secret trade may ignite a new era of proxy politics and economic extraction. But the questions remain: how sustainable is a defense system built on resource exchange? Will anti-drone technology alone guarantee peace, or simply reinforce power? And as Russian influence expands, will Africa's new allies bring security or shadow? The world must pay closer attention, not just to the battles waged in deserts or forests, but to the deals made behind closed doors. Follow the gold, trace the drones, and demand transparency. Because in the era of silent pacts and armed diplomacy, ignorance is the greatest vulnerability. Stay informed, stay critical. The Moscow Pact is only the beginning.